Everyone talks about referrals, great craftsmanship, and hustling for years. But what nobody tells you is that $6 million remodeling companies look like $6 million remodeling companies online. And today I'm breaking down a website of one of the best in the game to show you exactly how they position themselves as the only logical choice for high-end home remodelers. Whether you're doing under 500K a year or about to break seven figures, this is what your site should look like if you actually want to attract $50,000 projects consistently. Alright guys, so the company that we're going to be looking at that's currently making $5.9 million in revenue is My Home Renovation Experts in New York. Now, before we jump right into this, there are three factors that determine whether your website is going to make money and attract high-end homeowners. So the three factors are traffic, trust, and conversions. So the first thing we're going to look at before we even look at the website is the traffic. We're going to first look at their SEO and show you how much traffic they're getting and why they are making so much money with their websites. So taking a look at the SEO of this company, I want to talk about first the authority score. Now, your authority score is basically a score between 0 to 100 that determines how strong your website presence is. So you have companies like YouTube, Amazon.com, Apple.com that have extremely high authority scores between 80 to 100. And this company has an authority score of 29, which is actually extremely high when it comes to a remodeling company. Most remodeling companies that I've seen have authority scores between 0 to 10, which is not good at all, right? And you want your authority score to be between 15 to 20. So the second thing we're going to look at is the organic search traffic, right? So the organic search traffic, they're currently getting about 5.2 thousand traffic per month, which is brilliant, okay? Especially if that's the case of 5,000 homeowners on this website. This traffic might not be too accurate. This is probably about 70% accurate. So it's more or less 5.2 thousand search traffic. And then we're going to look at the backlinks. So your backlinks are essentially all the links, all the websites and other companies that are linking your website on their website. Basically, there is 12,400 links that are linking to this company's website. And that is a massive amount of backlinks. Now, you don't need this amount of backlinks. You don't need these amounts of backlinks necessarily to make a lot of money with your website, but this is a very high amount of backlinks, which shows why they're getting so much traffic. Now, your backlinks is going to be one of the biggest factors that's going to determine the strength of your online presence, and that is going to affect your authority score. So because they have so many backlinks, no wonder why they have such a high authority score. Now we're going to look at the top organic keywords, and as you can see, they have 5,846 keywords that they're currently ranking for. And the top keywords that they're ranking for is home renovation company, home remodeling New York house remodeling, home remodeling NYC, New York kitchen NY. This just shows that when people search this, they are like one of the first companies to pop up, and that explains why they're getting so much organic traffic. In order to achieve this amount of organic keywords, you're going to have to post a lot of blog content. And some people say that people don't read blogs, but blogs are the reason for why they are ranking for so many keywords. This is an overview of their SEO, and this is something that you want to eventually achieve for your own remodeling company. So now when we take a look at the design, the first thing that a homeowner would look at is the headline. In the homeowner's head, they're thinking, why should I work with this company? That's immediately what's going through their head as soon as they land on your website. So what it says here is home renovation experts in New York City, renovates in NYC with the experts specializing in kitchens, bathrooms, and full home remodels. So this tells you exactly what they do, which is kitchens, bathrooms, and full home remodels, and where they are experts in. They are home renovation experts in New York City. So this is calling the ideal homeowner immediately for high-end home remodelers in New York City. You want your headline and your subheadline. Now, the second thing I want to look at is the immediate trust established. So when a homeowner is looking at your website, you need to already establish the trust the moment they land on your website. And as you can see here, they have a 4.8 star rating with House, a 4.9 star rating with Google, and a 4.7 star rating with Better Business Bureau. So this immediately establishes trust in the homeowner's head. And the third thing that you want to look at is your conversion factor. So the one thing that you must have is a single call to action that tells the user what to do, which is get an estimate. You have a get an estimate button here, you have their number here, and you have the get estimate button as the main button. And I see a lot of home remodeling companies that say contact us or learn about us or look at our services. Like you don't want to say that. You want to get them to get on a call with you. That should be your main call to action. So this company has done this perfectly. The other thing that you could actually add as your website is a renovation cost, right? So if I click this button here, it literally gives me a form on what I want to remodel and what types of kitchen designs I like. This is basically showing me the dream outcome of what I want my kitchen to look like. So as I'm entering this form, by the end of the form, I'm going to obviously enter my email or my contact details, and they'll call me, or I'll probably apply or get an estimate. I haven't seen actually a remodeling website that has this kind of renovation cost form or calculator. So the next thing we want to look at is trust. The first thing that we see this lady's face on the homepage. And this shows a bit of personality and face. It shows their values, it shows their warranty, it shows what you're getting when you're working with this person. And when we look at these people, we want to see who is going to be in your kitchen or in your bathroom doing the remodels. So this is a big trust factor. And the next thing that we're going to look at is your customer reviews. So if you look here, trust. As soon as you land on this website, you immediately trust this person, right? Here are the reviews, the house reviews, and there's tons of reviews. There's 89 reviews. So that's already established trust. You want your reviews to be right at the top of the website. Okay, so let's look. All right, so here's their services. What's nice about this is most remodeling companies try and sell their services on the web page, but you don't want to do that. You're trying to sell the outcome. So you want to show the dream kitchens and the dream bathrooms, what it's going to look like in your home. I like that they've kept this pretty minimal, having the bathrooms, kitchens, and full remodels, and then just a learn more button if you want to look at their services. Now we're going to look at the home project gallery. And again, this is going to help with conversions, right? Because this increases the incentive to make that estimate, to make that call to action. Because you're looking at their portfolio, looking at all their kitchen remodels, all their bathroom remodels, all the other home remodels. And this is actually going to help with increasing your conversions, not just trust. Another thing which is great is they have the renovation process, and they've also kept this pretty simple because as you can see, free consult, design, permits, construction. So this also increases the incentive for a homeowner to take action to book a call with this company because they can now picture what the process is going to look like when they work with these people. So the next thing we can look at is their maps. This shows exactly where they are. And then lastly, you have your contact form. So I see a lot of home remodelers that have these long, massive contact forms that it's like, what do you want to build? What is your kitchen remodel? What do you want it to look like? You know, where did you hear from us? Right? You don't want that. You want a seamless, simple contact form. So as you can see, if I enter my name, surname, phone number, email, my zip code, and the message, this can count as both a general inquiry form and it can act as a service form to actually apply for an estimate or get in touch with them. So super simple, and the more simple your form is, the higher your conversions are going to be. So you want to think every time in your head, what's going to increase the trust and what's going to increase the likelihood of a homeowner contacting me. So now you can see also they have their number and their email address here and their socials. Now if we keep scrolling, more reviews again. This is another trust factor. And then if we look at the home magazine, right? So this is their blog. It's not actually a magazine, it's actually their blog. So if I click on here, how much does it cost to remodel a 10 by 10 bathroom? This is probably an article on how much does it cost. So if you look here, there is a ton of content. Shows the average cost, shows what factors affect the cost, shows what's included in a full bathroom remodel. If you look at this, just look at these keywords, right? Permit handling and inspections, floor wall tiling. They are probably ranking for keywords within here. There's probably so many keywords that they've said in this blog to actually rank for these keywords here. So that's why you need a blog, okay? That's why you need content on your website, because that's going to overall increase the amount of traffic you're going to get. So here is more content. Now, if we click on how it works, this is a full breakdown of their remodel process, design, construction, your completion. They even have YouTube content. This is the reason why they are the authority in New York for remodeling. When we look at their bathrooms, we can see they have trust factors again with their bathrooms. They have project galleries of their bathrooms. They have the bathroom remodeling process, which is pretty much the same thing, but it's still targeted for bathroom remodels. So here's another great headline. We manage the entire bathroom renovation process. You enjoy the results. It's always talking about the dream outcome of the customer. It's never talking about the technicalities of their service. Right? If we take a look at their kitchen, it's probably the same, exactly the same thing. You've got your reviews, got your YouTube, but you've got your project gallery of your kitchens instead of your bathrooms. So this is essentially what it's going to take for you to build a $6 million website for your remodeling company. Okay, so now before we end this video, I just want to show you their Google My Business profile. So if we take a look at their Google My Business profile, you can see here they have photos, right? They have a ton of photos, and they have even walkthroughs. Here they have general contractor in New York. A lot of you guys are just saying general contractor or kitchen remodeler. You want to say in your specific area where you are. They have their Google reviews, they have their address, their phone number, their hours. They even have their posts, so their Google posts. So you want to be posting actively on Google, because when you're posting actively on Google, Google thinks you're active. So they're going to naturally rank you higher in the Google Maps. A lot of people neglect this. They don't post on Google. So they just assume that you're not active. Another thing that determines whether you're active is if they're replying to their Google reviews. See here, they reply to every single review. A lot of you guys don't reply to your reviews, and this is why they are ranking #1 on Google Maps, because they've completely optimized their website. And I hope that you found this video valuable. See what you can do for your website to see how you can replicate what they've done for your own website. Feel free to DM me. I'm happy to take a look at your website completely for free at no charge and tell you what you can do to make more money with your website.